Okay. Okay. Yeah, cars traveling in deep water here. This is Hollywood Lakes, the Hollywood Lakes area. Let me bring the camera all the way back out here to show you. That's Hollywood Boulevard. That's the Hollywood Boulevard bridge there. It goes over to the Hollywood Beach Hotel and A1A. As you can see on the east side of the bridge, things appear to be drying out somewhat. This area over here does always have a problem when there's heavy rain and flooding because it's very, very low to the ground here. The pumps here we were focusing on a little bit earlier have been running for since before Irma came by here, and it, as you can see, the volume of water that's being pumped out of here would give you an indication of how much water there is on the ground in this area, probably up to maybe 2.5 feet of water in some areas. This stretches on both sides of Hollywood Boulevard, both the north and south side, and there are actually pumping stations on both sides. There's one down here too on the south side, and this is also where some of the public works folks are. There's a couple of bucket trucks there. They've been running around back and forth here, inspecting power lines and inspecting the grates, the sewer grates, making sure that they're clear so that the water can flow out of the area. Hollywood Boulevard itself is not being affected by this right now, but folks that live in this neighborhood are finding it kind of slow going here in the neighborhoods because of the standing water. Well, it is better. I think Hollywood Boulevard was underwater there for a while the other day, but that has cleared. So what we've got now is the residential communities on both sides of Hollywood Boulevard here, just west of the Intercoastal and on A1A. Those folks are still finding themselves there having to deal with the water. I'm sure it's nothing new for them, but it just goes to the fact that there was a storm surge that folks were concerned about. There was a flood advisory that folks were concerned about. These are the kind of areas where that concern becomes a reality here, because there is standing water here, and it will probably be here for the next day or two. It is, I think we just went past high tide at about 1:40 or something this afternoon, so that would also affect it. But there is a tremendous amount of water here on the roadways. Again, this is the Hollywood Lakes area just west of the Intercoastal and A1A. Well, there are quite a few folks out on the road. We were in the area of Flamingo and off of Sheridan Street, and I can tell you there's a Publix that was doing land office business out there. It was wide open, as we have a truck here come through the shot. They have power out there, and if they, I guess along with power, they have all the supplies and stuff that folks are going to need. That was the only building, or the only store in the shopping center that was open today, because what we found is, and as you've seen, a lot of people have chosen to either stay home or they can't access their businesses right now because of the inspections that are going on to make sure that the roads are safe, the infrastructure is safe, and up and running, that there's power. And but we did see that out there. We came across the eastbound along that corridor there off of Sheridan Street, went to the beach. One other thing we can show you, I don't know how it's going to transition or translate over here, but the ocean right here, out here, looks like milk. It's white, and as you can see, it stretches out there. Those are clouds right there in the center, but as you get out a little deeper, you can see the water all of a sudden is going to turn, I don't know if it's going to translate again, but there's a blue. It's a very, very, we know we fly all the time. I can't remember the last time I saw this. It's almost a powder blue. It is several miles offshore, but this color transition here is all from the wave action and all the stuff that was stirred up here along the shoreline. You can see, I don't, you guys can tell me if it does translate there. Can you see that difference there? Right, as we go, exactly, and then as we go up here, this bloom here is coming. This is water that was inland at Port Everglades. There, you can see as we bring the camera out. As soon as we get past the rocks there, as the tide drags this out, that's actually cleaner or clearer water that was inland that's going out there several miles. Now this happens all the time, but it's not as easily definable as it is today, with the storm having passed and had churned everything up the way it has. Yeah. Pretty good. Margaritaville, that's Jimmy Buffett's place. That's right here. That's this building right here. They lost a couple of palm trees on the other side of this. Joe, let's go on the other side there. We'll whip over here real quick. Just as an example here, the roadways, the sand and the dirt that we usually see when they have a storm here, it's either been cleared or it didn't. That didn't occur. Now, right here along the boardwalk, yeah, there's a lot of sand here. There are folks out taking pictures and kind of surveying. Take a look at all the sand there up on the boardwalk. There's the boardwalk, Hollywood Boardwalk sign, and Jimmy Buffett's right here. And I think if we just pan the camera over here a little bit, you'll see that some. Well, actually, they did pretty good on their planning, I guess, because there aren't that many of them down here. The hut there, that's probably got a little damage, but yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we wanted to be careful and selective of what we show you, only from the standpoint that some of these are under renovation, some of these are abandoned or not abandoned, but have been foreclosed on, and they're going to be renovated, so they have not been maintained. But you're correct on that. Here's an example right here: the awnings and the damage here to the structure of the front of this building right here on the boardwalk. Here you can see stuff that's been peeled back by the wind, or the tiki hut thing, treatment there on the front there. A lot of that stuff is blown off. But we mentioned it earlier. We were surprised at the lack of physical structure damage. We expected to see a lot more, because that's been the case almost every time we've had a storm come through, even near misses. But we have not seen that. We've seen a lot of personal property damage in automobiles, boats. A lot of boats, and a lot of the marinas we've seen sunken vessels, sailboats, things upside down, but we haven't seen the structural, the brick and mortar structural damage that we've seen in other hurricanes. And I'm not coming up with the right terminology here, but it appears that the storm is selective. I don't know how else to put it. There are areas that are just folks are going about their business, and things appear to be normal, and there are other areas where there are power lines down, traffic control devices down, there are without electricity, tons of vegetation, huge plants and oak trees, all kinds of things that are down in roadways blocking people's access, and then 3 blocks away everything is fine. So it's just one of those phenomena that happens when you get a storm of this magnitude. Here we go. We've got some folks out here. These are utility people out here checking things, and again, this is all in the Hollywood region here. I believe we're now on the. Are we on the other side of A1A? Yeah, we are. No, we're still here looking at things on the beach. We haven't drifted over there, but there are folks out here that are not quite the first responders, but the first team of people that have come out here. We saw at a power station down in Dade County off of 93rd Street and I-95. It's a substation, and there were we counted 28 high lift trucks that were already doing work in that area, making repairs. So the repairs are starting, and of course we're going to be looking for more of that, and we'll provide you with those pictures and kind of narrate it as we go, as we have for the folks at home who are listening on the radio. Yeah, and remember too that for the responders who do come, especially for Florida Power and Light and other power companies in the state of Florida, they will move their assets where they consider them to be safe, and will have the easiest access to get to a point. So if you're having a storm that's only going to hit southern Florida, they'll be up in Jacksonville or Tallahassee, and then as soon as the storm passes, they speed down. Well, if they're up in Jacksonville and Tallahassee, the predictions for where the storm was going to go was going to push them even farther away. Whether they went to Georgia or wherever they went, I don't know the answer to that, but I know that they can